Hey all, Tony Bing here, hello and welcome back to the channel. So we have another Envoy news update video as always. With the Envoy videos, quick disclaimer that no way do I work for or am I affiliated with Marvel or Fox Next, even though I've got access to this early content here. But the character we'll be having a look at anyway. We've got the full kit for him and it's all maxed out. So level 7 for the active abilities, level 5 for the passive. It is Coulson, a character that we've seen in the artwork quite a few patches ago, but they've managed to find a space in the schedule for character releases to actually bring him out. Looks like he's going to be exceptionally strong in ward defense, and that's something I'm actually going to talk about, the implications of that later on in the video. But we'll start off and we'll have a quick look at his kit first. So let's bring up the passive first. The passive then is called the Agent. This looks exceptionally powerful. So with this, if Coulson drops below 50% max health, he changes his speed bar by 60%, not for himself, but for S.H.I.E.L.D medic. And they're actually going to see some changes with the patch. That's something I'll talk about in just a moment. Now, also you can see with this, a section I'm not a fan of. I wasn't a fan of it with Namor, I'm not a fan of it with Coulson. So specifically on ward defense, you get massive buffs. So with this, he gains 40% max health, which is a huge amount. S.H.I.E.L.D allies gain 40% max health. With all the kills they're doing, it's really going to make them unbelievably powerful. They're going to go way back up again in the ratings, because they maybe did drop down a little bit with power creep on other teams, but this is really an insane amount for them to gain. Imagine a 7 red star S.H.I.E.L.D security with another 40% max health there. Now with this as well, if that wasn't enough, on spawn you apply immunity to all S.H.I.E.L.D allies, so that means the Brotherhood won't be as effective at all due to the turn 1 blind via Magneto. It's not going to work, so that's interesting, I'll put it that way. And you gain 120% resistance, which is a large amount, and S.H.I.E.L.D allies gain 120% resistance as well, so it's going to be hard applying debuffs to them or even stripping their buffs. So that's the passive. Let's look at the basic. So the basic looks to be exceptionally strong as well, and on this particular one you attack the primary target for 230% damage and you chain to 2 to 4 adjacent targets. So that means essentially you'll be doing damage to between 3 and 5 targets. Adjacent targets take 180% damage, counter attack breaks the chain, which is always really the case for these skills with, I think, the exception of Spider-Man, and you change the speed bar of primary and secondary targets by 20%. So for a basic, that is unbelievably strong, hitting 5 targets or hitting up to 5 targets, doing that damage to them and reducing their speed bar by 20% as well. It's just crazy. Now let's look at the special. The special then is called EMP Punch, another one that looks insane. So attack primary target for 200% damage, attack all other enemies for 150% damage. On ward defense, this is where things get crazy, you transfer 4 positive effects from primary target to all non-minion S.H.I.E.L.D allies. So that, I believe, is essentially just Nick Fury, and imagine it would actually be to Coulson as well. And then you flip all positive effects on the primary target, and then you remove all positive effects from all enemies and apply slow to all tech enemies. So if they're on ward defense and you go up against with the likes of a power armor team, you're going to be applying slow to all of them, and you've got all the manipulation of the buffs you're actually doing as well there. So it looks like they're negating Brotherhood, it looks like they're potentially negating the power armor team, who's left to actually take them on there. But that is the special. Let's finish up with the ultimate. The ultimate then looks to be really strong as well, perhaps not as strong as the previous skills, but it's going to cause a lot of teams trouble, and I think it's maybe set up to potentially counter the Tech Nerva team that's got Rocket in it. So with this, you apply offense up to all S.H.I.E.L.D allies. On ward defense, you clear all positive effects from the enemy with the most damage. So the chances are, if you've got like a Rocket, it's going to be them, or if you maybe got like an Iron Man, he's got really high damage as well. So with this then, you apply defense down and taunt to the enemy with the most damage, and you call 2 allies with the most damage. So not sure how that would be damage rating wise, but if it's like your S.H.I.E.L.D security, then you could be in trouble there because he does hit hard. But you call for the 2 of them to attack the enemy with the most damage, and bear in mind you've got the defense down there and you've got the taunt as well for other characters, and you attack all enemies for 280% damage as well. So I think this is really a way of one-shotting the likes of Rocket there. So really Pretty crazy as kit. Now, before we move on to the next section where we're going to talk about war defense and the implications of a character being set up this way, we've actually got some changes coming to some of the S.H.I.E.L.D characters as well, so let's quickly discuss them and I'll show off some more Coulson gameplay. So it's 3 characters in total here we have changes for. We'll start off with the simplest one, which would be Quake. With this, her special now slows. I don't think that's enough to really bring her back into teams. I don't believe it's her ultimate, that's just still far too slow nowadays. It's the second or third turn it takes, and with all the characters that can spawn with speed up and speed bar manipulation, Quake has really fell down from the top tier that she used to be. Now the next change is to Nick Fury, so this is so that Coulson operates as if he was a S.H.I.E.L.D minion almost without the S.H.I.E.L.D minion tag. So with this, in war, S.H.I.E.L.D minions and Nick Fury's buffs, so that's the likes of the Assault class's crits or Fury's heal or Operative's additional focus, will also affect Agent Coulson. And then finally with S.H.I.E.L.D Medic, and if you think back to the passive, when Coulson drops below 50% health, it's filling up the speed bar by 60% for S.H.I.E.L.D Medic. So with S.H.I.E.L.D Medic, her special will 100% revive Coulson if he is dead, in addition to her normal 20% chance to revive a S.H.I.E.L.D ally, so you could revive 2 allies there by the look of it. And her special now heals all S.H.I.E.L.D for bonus health and not just S.H.I.E.L.D minions, so it'll heal the likes of Coulson of course and also Quake there. So that's all the changes. Interesting, definitely very interesting. You can see the power creep really ramping up with Coulson to a huge extent. One plus side is that it is limited to one node, which is war defense, but that's also a downside as well, and I'm actually going to show off some war defense gameplay and I'm going to talk about that in more detail. So the way the tooltips are actually laid out for Coulson, it's not entirely clear everything that goes into war defense, because some of the text is in almost a separate paragraph. So what I've actually done here is I've put up a list of everything that definitely falls under the war defense bracket, so you can see how much he actually offers in that mode. So just to quickly run over it, you've got the transferring 4 positive effects from primary target to all non-minion S.H.I.E.L.D allies, flipping all positive effects from primary target, that's coming via the special. You then have the ultimate, which is clear all positive effects from the enemy with the most damage, and then you have the passive whole lot going on here. So you're gaining the 40% max health for Coulson and S.H.I.E.L.D allies, you're getting the immunity, which is a complete game changer, and you're getting the extra 120% resistance as well. Now I mentioned when I was actually reviewing Namor and he had the huge buffs to war offense, I'm not a huge fan of that, because let's say you've been looking forward to a particular character for a long time and it turns out you can only maybe use that character 3 times a week in one mode, or in the case of Coulson, if you actually want to use him at his most effective, you actually don't use him at all. You have to put him in war defense, which means you're not playing as him, and that's mind-boggling really for me, that a character's set up that way, that to get the most out of them you'll not play them 3 times a week. How crazy does that actually sound? Now, looking at all the teams that Coulson and S.H.I.E.L.D will counter, we talked about the Brotherhood are going to have a hard time. You might have the Tech Nerva team that has a hard time. Power Armor, you can see here, if we get to the end of the gameplay, then Power Armor get taken out by them as well. I'm not sure how hard the developer that was playing this was trying. Were they trying to show off Coulson? Were they maybe throwing the match a little bit? I'm not quite sure, but Power Armor does get defeated here. Who does that leave to take them on? Potentially, and I've not had time to try it and not sure really without hands-on time, potentially maybe Sinister Six could have a go at them. If not Sinister Six, then a team that could definitely take them down would be the Fantastic Four Namor, due to the fact that Namor's got those huge actual buffs when it comes to war offense. Problem with this is that what's happened is we've got a really nice war offensive team, and it's good to think, excellent, I've got an extra team here to take down the opposition, but it's now been negated to an extent by the fact we've got this really strong defensive war team that it looks like you potentially need the latest war offense team to actually take them down. So in a way we've took a step forward, then we took a step back at the same time, and we're in exactly the same situation, apart from the fact we're going to have to farm, it's an extra 5 characters for the Fantastic Four characters, and then an extra 1 character for Coulson there. So that's the takeaway I've got from it. So do let me know in the comments below what you think of what we've been able to see of Coulson tonight, and the implications of a character like this and more, and what you think about characters that are really focused into specific modes, specifically war defense, because as mentioned, I think it's one that's really quite funny that to make the most of the character you don't actually play them there. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in. I hope this video was interesting enough, and I'll see you all again soon.